Hello everybody. Coming back to you pretty soon, but I got some things I want to talk to you about, some questions I want to ask you. And hopefully this cotton picking camera is going to stay up. I've cleaned and I've cleaned and I've cleaned both the suction cup and the mirror. It's on there solid. Gremlins, bye-bye, go away. Okay. Since the last few videos, been getting a lot of comments from you guys about, oh John, keep on doing the videos, keep it up. I learned so much from you. Am I gonna have to hold this thing? I do not know what is wrong with this. I can pull on it and it will stay in place. It won't move. I guess I'm gonna have to get some duct tape. And now it looks like I broke my camera. Okay. Stay up there. Yeah, I bet it won't. Where was I? Okay. You guys have been making comments that you learned so much from me. I don't understand that, because just what I'm talking to you about is common sense things that every one of you should be able to figure out on your own. And I don't know if it's an age difference. I know there's a lot of guys that are my age that say the same things. What I know and the experiences that I have in wet shaving comes from having lived a lot of the transition and knowing how I began to shave, which was basically with an injector style razor. And then I moved on to a track 2, and I used sort of a track 2 for a long time. And then ultimately, bought into the whole propaganda of the multi-blades and the glide strips and you name it. And then it was just, I had my dad's slim adjustable razor. It had been sitting in my drawer for a long time, and I just wanted to learn how to use it. I tried to use it whenever I was a kid, and because he had died whenever I was 8 years old, I didn't have anybody to teach me. My brother had moved, he's 10 years older than me, but he didn't know how to use a razor like this any more than anybody else. And he was off in college and married, and he wasn't around whenever I learned how to shave. Okay, tape is installed. Man, I guess I'm gonna have to get a new mount. That the silicone suction cup is just kind of deteriorated, so where it's not doing its job anymore. Okay, what was I saying? My brother wasn't around when I learned how to shave, so years later I just started experimenting. I just pulled it out of the drawer and I wanted to use it. And it was just common sense that I used. Yeah, I watched some videos from some guys. But one of the things that I figured out pretty quick is that so much of what other guys had to say about how a product worked, how to make it work, a lot of the properties of a product, or how a particular razor worked. It was usually one of two things. It was very, very personal, and it would only work that way for them because of the uniqueness of their face. Or it was herd mentality hype. It was what they had heard everybody else say, so to not be different, they said the same things. And it's not always true. So that's the perspective I come from. And I don't know, I guess you guys let me know about, what it is about my videos that appeal to you, because it's kind of a mystery to me. I've never really understood it other than just a straightforward, honest, and common sense to the point. That being said, one product that I don't see mentioned a whole lot anymore. It was one of the very, very early standard products when the artisans weren't around. Anybody recognize this? This is a little unusual for this particular product. Most people don't get this one. Most people get a ceramic container. Mitchell's Wolfat. Mitchell's Wolfat is one of those products that people have so much trouble using it, getting it to work, getting a good lather. Well, Mitchell's Wolfat is a hard soap. And what do you got to do to a hard soap? You got to soak it in hot water. That's what I've been doing. I've been soaking this in hot water. I'm just going to pour off some of the additional water. I'm going to use my Plisson synthetic. Get it wet. And let's start working the lather. Mitchell's Wolfat, a hard soap. How do you get a hard soap to work? You soften it up a little bit with some hot water. Now, granted, one of the things when you do soften a hard soap up, you've got to use a lot more water at first. So therefore, you might have to work it a little bit more. Okay, should I face lather? So I've got it loaded there. Or do a bowl. Let me do a bowl. I'm just going to do a wooden bowl to get it worked up a little bit more. Just put a little bit of water in, pour it out, just get it damp. And this is a wooden salad bowl. So now I'm going to work this lather. Okay, you see the big bubbles in there? You just work it until you don't have those big bubbles anymore, and it thickens up. I prefer to do all this kind of on my face, but not all of you guys face lather. It is probably one of the most efficient, and when you get right down to it, easiest ways. I first started off trying to bowl lather. Bowl lather is a pain in the patootie. It's harder to do than what you think. Okay, got the lather going. Put a little water on my face. And one of the things that a lot of you younger guys that, and younger I mean guys that are more recently starting in wet shaving, and you've got these artisan soaps that all you gotta do is look cockeyed at them and you can lather them. You're not really understanding what traditional wet shaving is all about. Learning how to build a lather from a hard soap, from a soap like Mitchell's Wool Fat. Mitchell's Wool Fat's got lanolin in it, which comes from wool. I'm just going to do a quick little shave. I've got a gem head on a handle that I just found somewhere, and I found a little adapter and I put a screw on it and I made a little bit longer handle. So one of the things from this particular style of single edge razor is you get a lot of auditory feedback. You can hear it. It's been a while since I used one of these. It's a little bit different angle, a little bit more steeper angle in some respects. You got to rinse them off a little bit more. Very slick. The second application with a lot of hard soaps is not quite as thick and rich, but it's plenty thick and rich. And the thing is, the auditory feedback you get from the old vintage gem style razors, ever ready razors, is that the less whiskers you hear being cut, the less whiskers there are. Pretty big difference from when I started and what it is now. Paul Humphreys talks about how he figured out how to shave his top lip. I have to really, really work to get my top lip near baby butt smooth. I don't think I will ever get it there. I don't know if that's because I had a mustache for the vast majority of my life, and those whiskers are just tougher. A little bit right on my cheeks. And yes, guys, I'm going for baby butt smooth today, because this is Sunday. I want to do one of my enjoyable shaves. But even when you try baby butt smooth is one of those magical moments that only comes along every once in a while. Okay, that's good enough. Okay. All right. Yeah, someone saw that I had some Thayer's lemon hazel whenever my camera fell down, and they wanted me to make comments about it. It's all right, but it's witch hazel, and for me, I have to add some other stuff. I usually mix witch hazel with other stuff. I usually put some Osage rub in there, and usually that's it. Osage rub and witch hazel. Mix it together, gives me a little punch afterwards. And I put it in a little bottle, and what I do is I cut a little notch on the side of the cork, so it doesn't completely seal up, but seals up enough. And that's usually what I do. Some witch hazel with some Osage rub. It gives a little punch right afterwards. And for those of you that haven't looked back into a lot of my earlier videos, Cornhuskers lotion. I love it. It is a versatile product. You can use it as a pre-shave. You can use it as a post-shave. I take grapefruit essential oils, add it to it, shake it up. Just put some on. I haven't been doing it lately, and that's why I've got the little bags underneath my eyes, because if I do it every day, maybe sometimes twice a day, those bags underneath my eyes don't completely go away, but for the most part. I put it on my arms, keep my arms moisturized. It's good stuff. And I've told the story a while back that one day I had very, very severe razor burn. something I was doing, testing out a blade, it didn't work real well. And I woke up and I was on fire. And I came in and I put some Trumper skin food on it. Didn't work. I put some Lucky Tiger. And I'm going to drop something and break it here. I put some Lucky Tiger aftershave and face tonic on it. Didn't work. Came in and I put some corn huskers with whatever I had in it at the time. And within 30 seconds, that irritation, that burn was gone. A lot of people say, oh, it's got parabens in it. Don't care. I think all of the hype about this chemical or that chemical or this or that or something else, you look back historically, products like corn huskers and some of the other things that were used for decades, for many, many decades. I'm not sure when this was originally made. I don't think it says. But it was a long time ago. And I don't think it has had an ill effect, because there's been hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people use it. And I think most of the problems that we have these days comes not from some of these products, but from some of the additives that we put in our food. So that's my little sermon on that. I think we'd do a whole lot better if we paid attention to what our food quality was instead of some of our cosmetics. But let me know what you like about my videos. Like my videos. Subscribe to my channel. You guys that are just getting into it, get some of the old traditional products. Move away from some of that artisan stuff for a while and use some Arco. Get some Arco. Get some Mitchell's Wool Fat. Some of the old products are going away. So experience them while you can. So until next time, have some good shaves. Try to be happy. But definitely be safe. And we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.